In this problem, we've invested money into two different accounts and let it sit for 2 years to earn a dividend. Last year, the first account paid 9%, the second paid 3%, and we received a total of $900. This year, the first fund paid a 10% dividend, the second only 1%, and we received $860. With that in mind, we can set up a system of equations to solve for the two things that we're looking for. It's the amount of money in each fund. So I need to use some variables for this. I'm going to let x equal the amount of money in the first account, and y equal the amount of money in the second account. From there, I can use the statement about last year and the statement about this year, the yellow and the green lines there, to write two equations to solve for my two variables. If I look at last year, I know that the first fund paid 9%. So 0.09 or 9% of the amount of money in the first account gets added to 3% of the money in the second account, 0.03 times y, and that has to come out to a total of $900 for the entire year. This year, the first fund paid 10%. So 10% of what was invested gets added to the second fund made 1%, 0.1%, and the total there was $860. And at this point, I can use either the substitution or the addition method to solve for x and y. I don't really like having the decimals there, so before I make my decision about what to do, I'm just going to clear the decimals, and I'll do that by multiplying each of the equations by 100. When I multiply the first equation by 100, I'll get 9x plus 3y is equal to 90,000. And the second equation will give me 10x plus 1y is equal to 86,000. And from here, like I said, I could use either the substitution or the addition method. The substitution method would be pretty nice because I could solve for y really easily, but personally, I just like doing the addition method better. I find that I make fewer mistakes, so I'm going to do it that way. First thing I need to do to use the addition method is to get opposite coefficients on x or y, and I'm going to choose to get my y's to be opposites. So I need a positive 3 and a negative 3. First equation is perfectly fine the way it is. 9x plus 3y is 90,000. And then the second equation I'm going to multiply by negative 3. Negative 3 times equation 2 is going to give me negative 30x minus 3y is equal to negative 258,000. Feel free to use your calculator for those. My next step, I'm going to keep the first equation alone. I'll have 9x plus 3y is 90,000. And then when I add equation 1 and 2, 9x plus negative 30x is negative 21x. The y's will cancel, and 90,000 minus 258,000 is negative 168,000. And then if I solve equation 2, negative 21x is negative 168,000. Solve this equation by dividing by negative 21. I'll have x is 8,000, so I know there was $8,000 in the first account. To figure out how much money was in the second account, I need to substitute that value into a nice equation, and I really like this guy with the star. So I'm going to put that into my start equation. I know that 10 times whatever x is, 8,000, plus y is 86,000. So 80,000 plus y is 86,000, and y is 6,000. So I know what x and y are, which means there was a total of $8,000. X was the first account, so in the first account, and there were a total of $6,000 in the second account.